Hey guys, Rinji here. Once again, bring you the worst out of the VTuber community. And today, we're back on Reddit. Good old Reddit. Specifically r/Hololive, where a certain discussion has simply blown up. What is that discussion about? Well, as you can see, it's about Gura. About her streaming habits. About her latest explanation why she can't stream as frequently as she used to in the past. And all of that resulted in a slew of different arguments, some reasonable, some less reasonable, some completely unreasonable, some doom posting, some shit posting, some unrelated insults. So pretty much everything that internet is known for in terms of discourse. But let's get right into it, since today is a long one and I hope you're ready for it. r/Hololive. Gura addresses the lack of streams. Little update. I'm doing what I can, when I can. I don't know what my new normal is or will be in terms of frequency. I just hope we can have a good time when we are together. And this really exploded into something. Before we get into all of that, you can kind of tell that Gura is probably only comfortable sharing as much as she shared here. The lack of communication, the lack of any more substantial updates from her are going to be a recurring topic in this thread. However, you have to take into account how much Gura herself is willing to share, how much she's comfortable in sharing. But we'll get into all of that. Let's continue on. Let's see what kind of arguments people had. So, graduation when? This year probably. That is if any channel with her voice randomly appears. LOL, LMAO even. Ruffle, perhaps. Funny how this Gura drama can be completely live in this subreddit, but the moment any drama involving the stars gets posted, the mods go nuclear with it. Mods. There's one mod, and there might not even awake right now. If that's an excuse, then he's never awake. LMAO, Gura has been getting constant threads and comments about her stream problem. A lot of fans straight up mocking her, but don't you dare do the same thing to any Tempus guy, because that's the only time the mod is awake apparently. Less Gura streams just means more people will tune in when she does go live to see how she is, and that make all chumbots create better memories and we have more people to talk with. It's a very positive outlook, I have to say. All the memories I have from the past 7 months is a good October Holofest and breaks. Weird to spend the whole thread bragging about watching streams and then not watching streams. There it is. With no Gura streams, you would think all of these weirdos in here would go touch some grass. No schedule, no stream probably. No announcements, no stream probably. Where is she? Been sick for almost a year. Probably that. These people need 3 sentences from Gura to avoid their world from crumbling, and making more asinine posts / comments about where she is. As if you noticed, a lot of these posts have a lot of downvotes. Some of the more reasonable posts will be downvoted, some of the more unreasonable posts will be downvoted, so it's kind of a mixed bag in terms of how people react to it. But a lot of people are gonna be taking offense to the fact that, you know, some people told them to basically touch grass, and that's the level of discourse we're dealing with here. It's gonna get a bit better, so don't worry about that, but currently we're on this very low level. Love when people act entitled about free content. That aside, I think at least part of the actual source of the frustration is that there also isn't many other people in Hololive to go to, especially in the EN time slot. Even more so if you don't care much for the boys. People form their attachment both to individual streamers and to Hololive as a group. And now that might feel their drip-fed content. With nowhere else to go, they end up being rude to streamers in chat. Not an excuse, of course. There can't be free content that aren't any people paying, dumb take. If a streamer isn't making money, they aren't going to stream anymore. I'm not sure how that's related to what I wrote. The public streams are free. You can watch them without paying a cent. It's literally free content. Don't get to complain about not getting free shit. Gura also makes money, partially from offering a paid product. But the paid product is still being delivered at a steady rate, so there's no issue on that side. So as you can see, a lot of people are getting mad about kind of reasonable takes. I mean, if you're a Hololive fan, and if you're like an exclusive to that sort of agency, you do want to watch Hololive almost exclusively. So people are a bit upset that they can't find anyone in the same time slot. But then again, you can also do something else. You don't have to watch streamers. And I know that sounds like a completely given up argument, but that's just it. They're just streamers. You can simply do something else with your time. Because the majority of the people complaining are the ones who spend money. Spending money on what? Membership buys access to members' content. Gura delivers members' content. People paid and got their product. Super chats are just straight donations. They don't buy anything. I fail to see how that entitles people to complain about not getting enough free streams. In fact, I fail to see any point you may have at all. You fail to understand anything, apparently. This has nothing to do with getting enough free streams. It's about communicating when there won't be any streams for a while. Well, if there aren't any streams announced, then I guess that means there won't be streams for a while. I don't think that's too complicated at all, is it? I have no idea what you're even talking about anymore. Your first talk about people paying and making money. You're saying something about communication. Are you trying to say the reason people are upset is because communication is lacking? And if not, can you please try to write it out a full coherent argument? Are you trying to say the reason people are upset is because communication is lacking? Yes? You paid literally zero attention to any other comments in this thread? Mate, they spent money for content Gura already made. They enjoyed the content and felt it was worth X amount. You might subscribe because you hope that they'll keep making that content, but there's no guarantee that it will. That's the end of the transaction, and that is a reasonable take. Again, we're gonna be ping-ponging between more reasonable stuff and some what you would call a bit entitled, and it gets kind of entitled later on, but let's move on. Chumbads really need to learn from the Nakirigumi in Shioko. If you treat your Oshi like garbage, you don't deserve her as your Oshi. Fight me. I'd rather she take things at her own pace than constantly try to make a portion of her eternally cranky channel members happy. Because they never will be. They're always gonna find something to whine about. Why are you even here if you're so damn unhappy about the state of things? I don't think you actually care about her health, or how much she communicates. I think you just want to gripe about something. Some of y'all would find something to complain about in heaven, you know that? How little are you doing in your lives that you aren't constantly overwhelmed by content to watch anyway? Subbing to too many VTubers is a thing I can't do because it's just too much. I'm content having an Oshi that isn't streaming 5 days a week, because it means I don't have to immediately and constantly be live/VOD watching to make sure I'm caught up. I don't know how K subs can keep up with her insane output, for instance. Even if you skim, that's a lot of video to skim. No one's forcing you to stay. The door is right there, friends. If you haven't gotten used to how she operates, at this point you're never going to. And if you're upset by how things have been up to this point, they probably aren't going to change in the future. So take your bow and go somewhere else. No one need to even announce your departure either. This isn't an airport. Do you guys need some recommendations for other people to watch while your Oshi ain't active or something? Explain what it would take to make you happy. Because I don't think that threshold actually exists for some of you. Gura could be tweeting or streaming daily and you'd still find something to be negative about. Isn't that kind of attitude exhausting? Do you not get tired of constantly bitching? Man, I can't imagine why she doesn't want to stream when so many people are always being giant assholes to her. It sure is a mystery. She doesn't owe you anything. You aren't her friend. You aren't her boss. You have no say in what she does and does not do. So sit down and either drop your membership or quit your endless belly aching. Or do both. Both would be fine as well. Too long didn't read. Now you go read that, but... and again, downvoted quite a bit. I'm sorry that happened to you, or I'm glad you either way didn't read. It's very normal for ENers to complain being be in this Azure lane, etc. Popular talents have to deal with fans who seem as content machines that people only watch clips. Yeah, massive pressure is totally do her favors. Mucho text though. You're just stealing shit now. This is the OP of the thread, by the way, in case you didn't notice. Honestly, yes, I'm probably going too far. I do think playing a Manhattan fan in this thread is going to be for the best for good and all for fans in the end. Okay, rat. Bruh, she ain't gonna read this at all, LMAO. Oh, I know she won't read this. I really hope so. That's why I'm doing this here and not on YouTube. Then how is this going to be the best for Gura and her fans? It's a little sad that it took people having the courage to speak in the pre-chat and have some fight between chumbots for her to actually see that there's some complaints. But it's literally just this small piece of text that takes less than 60 seconds to be made is enough to prevent any type of shitstorm when VTubers in general want to be away for some time. I mean, this whole thread with over 700 replies to it kind of caused a shitstorm just because of that one explanation. So either way, there would be trouble. It's always like that on the internet. Schizoing out and spamming pre-chat to the point that Gura closes it instead of shitposting about Crocs is not courageous. Maybe courage isn't the right word, but just the fact that this snowballed to the point that reached the pre-chat, I guess it's bound to happen sooner or later since people wanted to be heard. Those people deserve to be mocked, not praised. Lol, courage. I'll get downvoted for this, that people need the truth and not blind loyalty. It wasn't in pre-chat, but she did this to herself. But not even tweeting a single thing for weeks at a time. Regardless of health issues or being busy, it would have been taken no effort time to tweet once a day or even a couple of days. Shame the most subscribed and most recognized member streams the least. Well, shame on you. But then again, I do think that I don't think Gura owes anything to anybody. If anything, like, to be completely reasonable about this and fair, I guess. What if Gura had, you know, some managers that would kind of give updates on her, like Gura is not going to be streaming this and this time due to this and this reason? I think that would be a reasonable middle of the road for this kind of issue. But, you know, then again, none of that is needed. As a lot of people were already saying, could just watch someone else. If there's no streams announced, then you're probably not getting any streams once again. I don't believe any streamer or YouTuber has to tweet regularly at all. Gura already mentioned ongoing health issues and that her streams will be inconsistent. But this is enough for me and perhaps the majority of her fans. I'll be happy when she streams, I'll be sad when she doesn't. But I don't think she needs to be to feed me tweets in between. Would she communicate better? Probably. But what was being said in the pre-chat wasn't thoughtful criticism, but downright attacks layered in entitlement. Again, I wasn't in pre-chat, but I did watch her last stream, and I don't recall her saying she was gonna be gone for 2 weeks again after having just taken a long break. Then she was on Twitter talking about a sunburn on April Fools. Okay, fair enough. And she didn't say anything for like 10 days, but was feeling good enough to do retweets. Does she need to tweet every day? No, but it is her job, and if she's going to stream to interact, she can tweet to interact every few days. Not just go completely silent. Nobody's saying she has to give a detailed account of what she's going through, but even as a joke, something funny or just not feeling well is better than being a complete ghost. I say all this as someone that barely even watches her anymore. One reason being that she does shit like this and barely even streams. Well, filtered, I guess? She's mentioned her health issues a few months ago, and I felt that sufficed as an explanation. Also okay, but why does she need to interact with a tweet? For real? I don't understand. I'm happy when she streams because it's always a funny romp. But why do some fans want that tweet interaction? I genuinely don't get it. I'm trying to understand your mindset, but I just don't get why. I care about Gura and I worry for her when she's not streaming. But I don't think I ever felt the need she needs to tweet out something at all. Well, I personally, as a Gura fan, not the biggest fan, Not like a super dedicated chum but when she does stream, I do tune in, and when I can't do that, just watch clips, the highlights. Always the treat when it comes to Gura. I think any streamer at all, any content creator should be able to do whatever damn well please and whatever time frame they please. And when it comes to explanation for not doing something, I don't think anyone owes anything to anybody at any point. That's just my stance on it. I don't have timestamp, but someone did ask her about her health in one of her recent streams, and she said she was fine. She wasn't really talk much about her health issue after her hiatus, and most of us are uncertain if it's still something that severely affects her. I'm not sure if it was a public or a member stream, but I do remember her telling us that she has to take things slowly because of her fainting spells caused by her health. I don't think it affects her all the time, but it seemed serious enough if it's chronic. It means she took a month break for health, came back and said she was fine, and streamed 6 to 7 times over 2 months. She last stream was 2 weeks ago, and the only thing she said since was I got sunburned 10 days ago. A simple not feeling well or being busy isn't hard to tweet, especially when you're tweeting art rather than saying nothing. In the end, all of this could be avoided with a few simple words. In either the members tab or the Twitter, she has at least 10k members. She could say good morning members tab, or just tweet a good morning, or I don't feel good, I'll stream another time. That's all Chumbies want, to know Gura is out there. But she doesn't, she just ghosts everyone for weeks. I love Gura, I have bought every match of hers, have tickets for the concert that I'm excited for, I just hate to see what's going on with her. Have you ever think that it's none of your business? The person behind Gura is real and not your fucking friend. You're not entitled to shit. If she doesn't want to stream your tweet and her employee cover is okay with that, then that's it. If you are that upset because your favorite streamer isn't streaming, you need to go touch some fucking grass. Y'all need to get a fucking life. I love Gura, but I hardly notice if she streams or not. Get a hobby or something. You love her, but you hardly notice if she's gone. I mean, you gotta love to go around, lol. And it's not like I love her like a family member or something. She's just a YouTuber I watch at the end of the day. Why is this downvoted? I mean, isn't that what most people do? Like, you know, just watch streamer, then shut off streamer and go on with your day. But then again, I'm dismissing the existence of fans that are a lot more dedicated than I am and a lot of other people. So I probably shouldn't do that, because there are fans that are on a higher level than me. But then again, I treat all of this with a significant amount of distance. I love Gura, but I hardly notice if she streams or not. Reverse smiley face emoji. I don't know her, sorry, I can't cry into my pillow at night. Very based downvotes from seething no-lifers. I love me Goob, but she's got a life of her own. I'm happy to support and watch her as an artist. I don't see me kicking off because my favorite band hasn't been posting updates in a while. I'm just glad if I do get something new from them. Not for one moment, I do kid myself into thinking I know them personally, as much as I like hearing them chat. Downvote all you want, losers. Your Oshi can do what they want. Like it, don't sub. I feel like she didn't have to say this, but too many people in that pre-chat and this community needed her to say it. Makes me upset when talent have to do this, when really we should just be happy that she's now doing what she wants. Dude, she isn't doing it for free. It's a job, not a hobby. Grow up. Stay mad. It's essentially free for us. The audience, the super chats and memberships are not required to watch any of the main fee streams. Giving money and donations to your Oshi does not obligate the talent to do anything for you. As for the job, holomems are required to do 3 streams per week for their first year, and then whenever they want for the following years as a holomem. There are holomems with even less output than Gura and have taken longer breaks. As I said before, it's a job. She isn't an indie VTuber doing it at the side. A job requires accountability, yep, to her bosses, not not really to her fans in that kind of environment that you're talking about. If she is gonna do her job badly, then there will be consequences for that from her management and from her bosses. I don't believe she has to disclose why she isn't streaming regularly, but regarding whether or not she'll be streaming regularly, absolutely. It's a job, but we are not part of it, Elwar. We are not her manager. You guys demanding accountability from a service provider who gives us service for free is absolutely nuts. Let me give you a piece of advice relating to modern market. If you don't pay for a service because you are the product, if you believe that cover doesn't gain anything, even from the audience who never pays for super chats, /voice packs, /show streams, then you're incredibly naive. Not to mention that many do pay regularly in various ways. We are part of it because we're the customers. We're paying for everything that being said. I don't think that means that Gura doesn't have a right to privacy. She certainly does. And I don't think she should have to talk about personal issues. However, she still has a lot of room for improvement in communicating with her fans and not ghosting them for long periods of time. Hard disagree, and maybe it's because I'm approaching middle age. As someone who spiritually and electronically resonates with Vesper, I remember a time when we didn't get constant updates of my favorite artists, writers, and creators. My favorite writer could release a flurry of books in a few years, then drop off the face of the earth for a decade before releasing their next work. No disclosure of what they're doing next of their expected frequency of upcoming works. I approach Hololive Crew the same way. Creators who I try to keep updated on, but I feel no way they should be obligated to more than the content they output. Buying a book, watching a stream, or buying a piece of art doesn't make a talent beholden to anyone. It's kind of embarrassing that at some point think that it's entitlement to ask for just a little bit of communication. Yes, there are some people who took the spam and harassment too far. But her job is to be an entertainer of Hololive, and streaming is a pretty large part of that. People would not nearly be upset as they are now if she could just say that they can stream consistently due to personal/health reasons. That's perfectly fine. This is her job, and it's pretty unprofessional to have completely left everyone in the dark like this. I'm going to tell you something, Chief. She already told us she won't be able to stream consistently due to health reasons as a while ago back when she first returned after her hiatus in November and December. But I think a lot of people forget about that and are still demanding more updates about it. So yeah, she still shared as her health problems causing her to stream less, but it still didn't stop people doing what they did today. I could be wrong, and I feel free to correct me if I am, but I don't remember her mentioning anything about not being able to stream consistently. I'm pretty certain she mentioned having a health condition that is causing her fainting spells, and that she has to take things slow when it comes to streaming. Or it could have been a member stream, unfortunately, which is even worse is the ones asking after her were all members. Can't find information anywhere, Chief. Twitter, Discord, YouTube membership. Did that important information came her stream? Why hasn't that been clipped to hell already? I'm pretty sure it's the stream where she talked about starting Japanese language lessons and mentions having a notebook ready for it. She even mentioned during that stream of her health issues where she kept feeling faint, leading to a joke where her mom would have to make her wear a helmet when she goes out. There was even a fan art made of it. She even said she might have to take things slowly because of health thing. I'm not lying, I remember that stream because I was listening while playing a game and that joke made me laugh so hard it made me lose my game. It seems that we need to treat that half-joking remark about her health issues, her stream last year, as an official statement now. Pretty sure I was there myself, but boy oh boy, I barely remember it since she said she's fine since her comeback stream. Even though a pinned messages on waiting room or pinned tweet can possibly reduce the whole drama, or create a different one even when she did address something. That's just how it is. The anti and pro streamer jerk is so cringe in here. Yes, if Gura is having mental health or health-related issues in general, It is to be expected that she would take time to address those concerns. At the same time, this should be communicated in some measure to the fan base so they can have an expectation. It is also entirely reasonable for someone who is a fan of a content creator who delivers commodity entertainment to be upset if there is lack of communication and inconsistency with the delivery of said commodity. It's not entitlement to ask streamer you pay with donations, super chats, or dedicated time to watch when they plan to stream. There have been Hololive idols who have taken a leave of absence for an extended period of time due to health concerns, usually accompanied with a statement from management, and the fan base is usually pretty calm about it. When it becomes constant issue of radio silence, minimal communication with slight streaming, and radio silence again, it becomes a major issue. Literally, is no other job field or in entertainment would this kind of behavior be tolerated, but gets past in here because how parasocial people are with their Oshi. Is that part of being parasocial, or is that just being reasonable, you know? Them making those quote-unquote excuses for Gura. Finally, a normal person in the thread. Half normal, according to me. What the fuck kind of logic is this? Not every single one of Gura's followers super chat her, and super chat is not an excuse to bother her and try to guilt trip her to stream. Have you given Gura any super chats? Nobody's saying super chatting is an excuse to bother her or guilt her to stream. It's a form of payment for the consumption of a commodity, and enjoyment from watching the stream. And not everyone who follows her watches her super chats her. Most professional streamers, Hololive or not, will typically have a schedule they will follow for their fans. Oh boy, there's just so many fucking streamers that don't do that. With VTubers, making actual schedules is a thing that became more commonplace, but before VTubers, as I was watching streamers, a lot of them didn't have set schedules. In fact, I would say the ones that did have schedules set like in stone, those were a rarity. Continuing on, they also communicate with their fans about changes to their schedule. This way you ensure your fan base who supports you is informed and expect absences. Big streamers and YouTubers have talked about how they're reluctant to take breaks from producing content out of fear of becoming irrelevant or losing their audience. And usually when those content creators announce that they are taking breaks, they will be met with support from their community and will be welcomed back when they return. We, as Gura viewers, spend money and time to watch her. If you're spending money on membership or merchandise when it drops, I don't think it's unreasonable to be concerned and asking the streamer you support why they aren't streaming after the extended leaves of absence with little to no explanation. Well, once again, you don't have to do any of that, you're just choosing to. At some point you have to ask yourself, why am I supporting a content creator who hardly produces content? Well, if you ask yourself that, then again, doors are right there, you can always leave. No one's forcing anyone to do anything here at all, other than some people having weird demands towards Gura. Bruh, no it's not, you're not paying Gura to perform for you. She is a streamer and a super chat is merely to support her, that's it. Show us your super chats you sent her then. Okay, now not every Hololive members put out a schedule. They only do it when they can and know they have plans to stream, and even if they do, they don't really have to put out a schedule, they just stream. Who cares what other streamers and YouTubers are doing? Gura is Gura, and I'll wait when Gura is going to say what's going on with her. I'm sure Gura appreciates it and will explain her situation when she can. Being entitled and harassing to a streamer and give updates only hurts her. I'm sure that's what she wants to do. Well, there's the door, dude. Gura has been in Hololive for more than 2 years and has given us so much already, so I'd say it's pretty ungrateful to act like she hasn't given us anything lately. And here's a wall of text. Bruh, it's not you're not paying. Gura to perform for you. She's a streamer and a super chat is merely to support her, that's it. Show us your super chats you sent her then. Giving a super chat is a type of payment in which the viewer can leave a message to provide some type of statement to the creator. Typically it is used as a form of payment for some service a creator has provided. The service rendered in this instance is that she provided entertainment to you. Whether you want to label as supporting her, that's fine. It doesn't change the underlying point that super chatting is a form of payment for an exchange of some item / commodity / service you deem to be valuable at the time. Also, I have no reason to share my donation history with you, lol. My criticisms stand whether I'm a whale or lurking viewer who's never spent. Okay, and not every Holo member put out a schedule. They only do it when they can and know when they have to plan to stream. And even if they do, they literally have to put out a schedule. They just stream. Who cares what other streamers and YouTubers are doing? Gura is good, and I wait for Gura is going to say what's going on with her. Yeah, they don't always put out a schedule, but usually the ones who don't put out a schedule are on a pretty regular schedule that their fans already know what their usual hours are anyway. Anyways, not always necessarily the truth. Especially in the case of Hololive stuff. Or they announce it on Twitter on memberships, and that's how fans get notified. Sure, you cannot care what other YouTubers or streamers do because of Gura is Gura. You can wait till she tells you what's going on. But what's the issue? She doesn't say anything for months. So it leaves fans wondering what's going on. I'm sure Gura appreciates it and will explain her situation where she can. Being entitled and harassing to stream and give an updates only hurts her when I'm sure that's what she wants to do. Again, generally asking a streamer why they aren't streaming I don't think constitutes harassment. Well, if it gets overboard, it is. Obviously, if someone is saying stop being lazy and start streaming or making derogatory remarks, that crosses the line. Sometimes just badgering can be a form of harassment. It doesn't need to be worded in a particular derogatory way whatsoever. But lumping that in with the genuine questions and concerns strikes me as a dishonest and lazy way to deflect criticism. Well, there's the door, dude. Gura has been in Hololive for more than 2 years and hasn't given us so much already, so I'd say it's pretty ungrateful to act like she hasn't given us anything lately. Firstly, she's a content creator. She's not doing this work selflessly for our enjoyment. Well, you know, part of being entertainment is doing that. The other part is earning money from it, but you get into this kind of industry because you want to entertain other people. She gets paid by a company from fans to produce content. Just because someone's produced content in the past you've joined does not mean they're entitled to your support indefinitely. Likewise, I as a viewer am not entitled to a content creator to produce content I enjoy indefinitely. But I do expect if a content creator wants to have a good relationship with their community that there should be communication with them. I don't need Gura to stream every day, I just want some communication besides random unrelated tweets about whatever crosses her mind. All the grain names were crying that I, a day one member, was an anti because I dared to say please let us know when you're taking a week break instead of just leaving. You're probably the most well-known Gura schizo on the subreddit. The people who have supported you for nearly 3 years deserve to know what's going on. It's what you wrote from what I've seen, direct screenshot. It's pretty rude and entitled way to ask, especially to the deserve. I do agree and wish she would communicate more. We don't need specifics or anything, just general timelines. But at this point she has. After her break and HoloFest, she pretty much said she was going to take it slow and see what she could do. I don't remember her promising she stream X times a week or back to her regular schedule, whatever that would even mean with her. So just take it what she is able to do and enjoy it for what it is. If this isn't enough for you, don't super chat, unmember, unsubscribe, etc. I remember you from the pre-chat. You were being annoying as fuck, dude. Now there is no pre-chat nor comments on the new post, and you're certainly partially responsible. Literally 90% of people were pissed off by you. Dude, I don't know how many times people had to tell you that you're annoying, but apparently it won't ever be enough. Don't care if I make people upset, gonna speak my mind since you bullies scare people into never speaking up. You might be impressed with the amount of insults and death threats I get from burner Reddit accounts over stuff like this. Yeah, I know you won't shut up, that's why you're able to easily make everyone hate you with only a few words. I guess that'll be your special talent. Congratulations, by the way. Someone needs to be the bad guy, I guess. I remember people harassing me over the Hololive CN stuff that the exact same way, and everything I said ended up being right. At the end of the day, I'll speak my mind and support Gura. He also transphobic piece of shit, so there's that. That's in connection to that Lily person. Yo man, any sources on that? They were using a bunch of transphobic dog whistles when Pikami graduated, then defended themselves with the usual ad hominem attacks. Can I get some links? It's midnight, I'm on my phone and way too tired to look through their post history. I can try, but a lot of their comments have been deleted, so the only evidence is their post history. Why do you want the links to substantiate claims on some rando in this thread? That's creepy. Who gives a shit? What a waste of time to care. Unfortunately, this isn't the type of community where calling someone out transphobic behavior means anything, as a majority of people here are right-wing leaning vermin with conservative views. All you can really do is take solace in the fact that you're a better person than them. What the fuck is this kind of comment? Where did this come from? Yes, clearly anime fans, VTuber fans, right-wing leaning vermin. Fuck, these people are everywhere. Like, this is the type of vermin. This is the rat that comes into communities and just says bullshit like this with no substance to it. Holy shit. Where did these people come from? New normal. So something happened or changed some time back. I'm guessing during a year or two when she started to stream less and less. It's a bit late to talk about it now. But she did right thing, say something, because even paying fans weren't buying the excuses. I'd never seen her preach out like that before. What was happening in preach out? I missed the drama, so to speak. What was being said? Basically what is being said here. Your people are acting like everyone is asking for a diagnosis of her current health when she only think people want to is stream today, stream tomorrow, sorry, no stream tomorrow. I won't stream today, but stream on Tuesday and whatever. I don't need to know what kind of disease or illness she has. That's none of my business. All she has to do is go on Twitter and say stream on date, but nope, garlic bread and deafening silence. Who cares, just watch something else. She didn't tell us. Also, the pity, sick and dying angle is so old right now. That's why this whole life full of sick people turned into a meme. Again, she didn't even hint at it. I'm not even a chumbat, and I know she did. Honestly, what are you doing? Also, if you're so jaded that you're going to say pity, sick and dying angle is so old right now, what the fuck are you doing? When your Oshi says they have a serious health concerns, you need to make a personal choice and understand that things are going to be difficult for her to deal with, and there are probably a number of things she doesn't want to share, get into, or needs to handle on her own time. If you can't support your Oshi going through that, what the hell are you doing? So she has major issues involving anything from either depressed, worried she's going to die or something else, had the massive quality of life changes because of illness. What do people miss from her trying to deal with these things? A lack of streams? Oh boy. Well, in her Minecraft streams, she says she's fine so far, so of course it's surprising if she's talking about she wants to stream and then she just disappears again without a word. I don't think fans expect her to reveal everything about her reasons for not streaming or to force herself to stream, but a bit of communication does wonders. People want to support her, but they also don't want to feel ignored or taken for granted. Just a simple sorry, can't promise a regular stream schedule in the foreseeable future, but I'm doing my best. Well, she did that. It's right up there in the OP post. Doesn't reveal anything, but it goes a long way to show the shrimps that they are appreciated. It's often less about what is said, but that something is said at all. The text she posted in the pre-chat is completely fine, but I feel that a lot of worry or disappointment among the chumbots who have been preventive had come out earlier. Well, it started again a different sort of shit show, so didn't help much at all, now that I think about it. I'm not writing this to put Gura down or anything. It's something I had to learn the hard way myself, and I don't want her to self-sabotage the way I did. Ignored or taken for granted. Are you serious? Nobody is owed anything to be an entertainer. The job is not a public service. Nobody is entitled to something they desire, especially when it's coming from someone else for free. And you know who can't accept that needs to grow the fuck up, seriously. don't bully Gura out of Hololive. It really seems like that's what a lot of people are trying to do, and it sucks. Anytime we get it with Shark is a good time. Yeah, this looks like a lot of what Ayame had been through for a while now. Few streams, unexplained breaks, impatient fans calling for their head metaphorically, etc. It's really disheartening to see fans make such demands and whatnot. People act like their streams are a literal drag when they don't get their fix, they become aggressive. It's a bad cycle. You aren't mentally ready to stream, angry fans, mental gets corroded even more, even less mentally ready to stream, more angry fans. How are Ayame breaks unexplained? She basically talked about her very personal family issues on a stream to explain it. Something she didn't need to, but did anyway. This whole dumb meme that idiots pushed about Ayame was always awful and ignorant, that they didn't know about her showing up on collabs on her or the main channel. They really weren't actually following her to begin with. How are Ayame breaks unexplained? That's not my view on this. I was just listing parallels between the two cases. People were calling for explanations for her breaks, just like how it happens now with Gura. Also often Ayame isn't actually on break, but rather just, well, not streaming. But people see it as a break because other Holomem stream more frequently, so people think that that should be what everyone's doing. There's also the fact that sometimes people simply weren't satisfied with the explanations she gave or accused her of lying. That didn't happen with her family situation as far as I'm aware, but it did happen in the past with breaks caused by sickness, for example. I personally don't need reasons for why Holomem take breaks. If they need a break for whatever reason, they should take it. It's not my business to know what's going on in their private lives that's causing them to unable to stream. He has like twice as many subs as Pecora and gets half the viewers, lol. It's all about numbers, which you lot. Gura averages around 400k to 500k views on her VODs. I'll spike up to 700k to 1 million on special occasions. Pecora averages around the same, but a little less, around 300k to 400k, and will spike up to 500k to 1 million. These numbers are pretty close. You could argue that Gura should have more, or it could just be that Pecora is just a monster. Either way, it's not something we should be bringing people down for. Not like this fellow Dan much enjoy. Personally, I don't mind the infrequent streams such as live. I can only watch her whenever I can and hope to see her again soon enough. Just wish I could know how she is doing, or if something happened to her instead of watching. I pop in out of existence once a month if I am lucky. Sadly, I am poor bastard and I can't afford to join her membership to know anything going on behind the scenes. And it's quite worrying and disheartening to know nothing whenever something like this happens. All I can do is wait and hope, a la Monte Cristo. Members don't know shit either. Everyone's in the dark, and that's okay. And even if you don't like it, the shit's obviously related to her health, and we already know that it's personal to her, so it's entirely up to her if she tells us anything. We all got to remember, just because we watch and support her doesn't make us her friends. We are her audience. That's as far as it goes. So there are obviously things we are not inclined to know or ought to know. There wasn't any need to drag an explanation out of her. We are only her audience and she's only a streamer to us. Then our relationship is only purely business one. And if that's the case, I expect more people from the person I and many others are sponsoring. I expect frequent updates and schedules. Her personal life is none of my business. In fact, we are very generous. We give her a lot of more leniency than a business partner deserves. You don't have that kind of relationship. This is not a business partnership. But if we still keep being disappointed by our partner, then we can't complain. What's wrong with that? Aren't you just saying that it's okay for us to give and get nothing back? Then why the hell would someone want to stay here and supporting this kind of partner? Against, you're not partners. You're only partners in your own head. If we don't deserve anything, then neither does she. She doesn't deserve our patience, love, or respect. What are your thoughts? Or you call me heartless and an auntie or anything else. My Oshi is Gura. Okay. It's a pretty abusive relationship you have with your Oshi, my guy. I love Gura. I am here for Gura. I want her to be happy, healthy, and wealthy. Apparently not, based on what you wrote just there. I want her best for Gura, whatever that may be. Donating to a streamer does not equal a business partnership. What I said in my comment is not what I believe. I was making a point. You all need reading comprehension skills. You need writing comprehension skills. Uh, think what you write, and when you wrote it down, read it again. I'm dyslexic as fuck. Even I do that. You're an entitled child. Go fuck yourself. She isn't your partner. She streams and you give her money. If you like what you see, the end. That's this transaction. You have nothing to do with her business except the role of the consumer, which is strictly not a business partner. Treat people like people instead of investments sometimes also. What I was saying in my comments is not what I believe. I was making a point. You all need reading comprehension skills. Have you considered your point is shit? Shut the fuck up. Take your meds, Anon. If you want the best for girl, then how can you not see that continually pushing her and touting your support for her as an excuse to gain information she's not willing to give is not a good thing to do? Like I said, she has issues with her health, so no one can assume that fluctuating schedule may have something to do with that. Also, considering she hasn't told us what her health issues are, they are private and personal. Your expectations, considering the circumstances, are too great, and even nothing she is owed to you at this time. Be patient and enjoy what is given. My brother in Christ, even if you donate, it wasn't because there was a signed contract or statement saying you are to. It's literally out of your own free will as a one-way thing. There are no rules that says anyone has to give anything. Who here is obligated to donate? There is no give and take, and we don't deserve any content. I'd rather have less streams and happier/healthier streamers than what usually happens. But yeah, probably best not to discuss this further because it's already hard with her with whatever she's dealing with. People really need to stop pushing this "she's got serious health problems" narrative. That's been going around recently. Gura went to doctor and mentioned a health issue, but also explicitly said that it wasn't the only reason she took her break. And has said several times that she's fine, and other members have said she's okay and not to worry about her too much, etc. We don't know why Gura is barely streaming, and it doesn't matter. All that matters is Gura has decided she doesn't want to stream a lot, and that's her choice. Pushing the health angle drama is just causing people who are casual fans/normies that don't follow the fandom at all to phone game the situation even worse. Even my friend, who mostly only knows about Hololive from me, messaged me the other day saying he heard Gura was really bad off and asking if she was dying, etc. Here's what we know. Gura has some unspecified health issues and explicitly said she's not going to talk about it. We don't know a single thing about the health issue. I could be gout in her big toe. Very DSP. It could be depression. It could be an ovarian cyst. It could be terminal brain cancer, or it could be an infected hangnail she wanted the doctor to look at. We literally do not know a single thing about it. She said she's fine. Kana, Ina, etc. have said she seemed okay, but they would let Gura talk about it if she wanted to. When chat kept asking them while Gura was on hiatus. Gura has said several times that part of the reason that she isn't streaming is because her computer blew up. Then her internet blew up, then she was traveling, then her internet blew up again. I remember all the people wishing Hololive to stop releasing members to focus in supporting their talent. Seems like we got neither. Ah yes, I will take management to personally cure her chronic illness. What chronic illness? Genuine question. She never specified, but she does faint a lot, so much that her mother jokingly said she'd buy a helmet to wear all times. Don't have much medical knowledge, but she did talk about regular fainting and how being in VR for too long makes her nauseous. I was thinking more about helping her moderate the channel. She literally said she was told to close the chat because there are no mods available at the moment, probably asleep. It's that time in Japan. You don't need mods if you don't stream. 5 head move right there. Bruh. Typical entitled fans. Sorry, but the streamer doesn't have to tell her fans about her life activities 24/7. There are more important things than streaming. Health/family/life comes first, followed by work/idle work. And last streaming it's shocking how people still don't understand that. Well, most oversea/Ian fans, because when JP or ID girls take an announced breaks, their fans understand. And when was the last time this happened? Besides Ayame? The streamer doesn't have to tell her fans about her life activities 24/7. Agreed, no one is asking for that. When the JPR ID girls take unannounced breaks, they don't. Their fans understand. ID? Yeah, JP? LMAO. Jesus Christ, all Gura threads lately are shitfests. I regret clicking this. If you don't like what she's doing, cancel your membership and unsub. Anything more is wasted effort. Or she isn't ghosting you. That's, again, these short replies are usually the most reasonable out of the lot. She's online. Watch her and enjoy. She's not online, do something else. She ain't shit and hard, guys. Come on. Honestly, if people can go out and lick pavement, they need to diversify their tastes and look for more Oshis to collect. There's tons more EN to watch. And if you're not a pussy and wouldn't mind watching a stream because language you don't understand, legal reasons, this is a joke, then go watch some JP streams. Eventually you get a context and subconsciously understand what is happening on their streams. Gura isn't Hololive itself. There's more to it than just her. If you look 7-Eleven runs out of your favorite Snickers bar, please try some Mars bars beside it. It's not your usual thing, but it's still chocolate. You'll enjoy it either way. Like it or not, but Hololive's business model is built around creating super fans who are very strongly attached to their Oshis. When the Oshis don't stream and don't communicate why they aren't streaming, problems occur. You can recommend this problem by trying to drive out Gachikoi, get most worked up about these kinds of things, but those are also the people that spend the big bucks. I don't think people had or still have malicious intent. They're just frustrated by the lack of communication. Of course, it's a difficult situation, especially if you're unable to tell further ahead of the time if you're conditioned to stream like you want. So I think it's tough on Gura as well. But if I've learned anything so far, is that the Holo fans have been anything but supportive. There are problems like health issues, burnout, or whatever it is. Laplus and Nene, for example, have demonstrated by explaining or even just talking about their issues that people are very understanding about it. Even if there's a sudden lack of communication or streaming frequent streams, if anything supported even more, but letting frustration and speculations build up, yeah, that's no good. Or instead of letting your frustrations put up, why not just throw it out the window by leaving? This exactly. If you can't handle being subscribed to a service that is inconsistent and known to be, for a while now, then just unsub and serve yourself the party you are sub the same heartache. Would just be a lot less drama for everyone. I know people have been getting frustrated, but wish they do so privately instead of harassing her. It doesn't help her help and makes the situation worse, but people are just assholes sometimes. Though assholes can be significantly reduced in number with proper communication. Heck, just an official statement or explanation by Gura herself pinned in Gura's tweet can prevent all of this, to be honest. There's no way to reach the fans except for the chat, and from what I've seen, almost no one harassed her. It's just a little bit of harassment. Man, typing chat is just the only way to tell her. I mean, there's Twitter too. If she does read Twitter, and I know she does so infrequently, she likes art because Twitter is good for art. Twitter is very bad for anything else, especially if you don't want brain damage. Just looking at the pre-chat clearly says that people just want clarification on the new normal now. People want to know the stream frequency from now on. The radio silent during this 1 week finally ticked them off. Let's say that Gura don't own her viewers anything, but also say the opposite. People want to know if paying every month for the membership is still worth it. The fans can just simply stop sending super chat, buying membership and merch if they think it's not worth it anymore. It's their choice, it's their money after all. Gura can also stream 3 times per month, it's her choice. I have never encountered a fanbase that so unapologetically defends a streamer not meeting the absolute bare minimum of communication in being a streamer before now. Any other streamer who doesn't let their audience know when they are going to stream, even if to let them know if it's going to be inconsistent, the regular is going to tank their audience. Yes, she doesn't have to tell us why, and it's her life and her personal info is hers to share or keep to herself. But when it's entirely impersonal, has literally nothing to do with her at all, and is such a simple answer with no extra explanation needed. When stream, today, next week, uncertain, indefinitely guerrilla. No whys, no personal explanation is needed. Communication is key between a streamer whose job is to stream and the viewer who literally funds their ability to stream whenever they want. The real entitlement isn't coming from those asking for when. Enjoy the locked thread. wasn't locked. At least at the time of the making of this video. Hopefully I don't get banned for saying this, but I hope mods at least check my history and see how big of a Hololive fan I am. I'm not a parasocial. I'm windowed and it is a new relationship. I spend at least $100 every time one of my Oshi has a new merch or figure. I'm a hobbyist at best and I am ashamed that Gura is the face of Hololive outside of Japan. And I really wish she can have a proper send-off so she can begin some actual healing and maybe come back if she's feeling better. I don't hate her, I just hate the fact that her existence alone undermines the hard work every other talents in the company. Holy shit, dude. Especially those who are build it from the ground up. Her rabid fans make sure this is tolerated. For example, I was fighting with some on a previous post, even daring to compare her to Suisei, saying Gura is in demand and all. She's not, and she can't compare to Suisei in terms of anything, and I'm sure Gura knows that. Suisei produces music, lives, concerts, and streams, and all while connecting to her fans. That's hard work. Gura can't even fix herself to begin with, yet her fans act like she's faultless. I don't think they act like she's faultless. You're being incredibly hyperbolic with everything you're saying here, and not only is it rude to Gura, it's also rude to other talents, which I don't think would like these kinds of comparisons you're making here. Holy fuck. I don't care if you want to send her Akasupa for nothing. I don't care if you support her unconditionally, I just don't want her and her fanbase ruining the image of Hololive. Especially now that they're trying to expand. I want people to see Suisei, Ame, or Pecora streaming, making concerts or music when they first discover Hololive. I want people to experience the same rabbit hole that pulled me in when they first watched their clips. If this is all Gura can do and Chumbats are okay with it, good for them. Throw all your money at her if you want. I just want her to be separated to what's actually carrying Hololive. You sound like Henry of Face Connect infamy. We have high standards. We send Rainbow Supers or talent sleeping on streams, failing games or streams. We support anyone doing streams. It doesn't even need to be exclusively Hololive, just a streamer. But not this. I don't want to be huddled with you simps. In case you want to attack me personally for being passionate about it, I discovered Hololive when I got widowed. It was the only thing that helped me to get my mind off things. I don't want to listen to Gura's passionate fans, but you listen to an actual Hololive fan. That's a pity party you want to start here. Most sane post in this nightmarely hack boxy thread. Gura unquestionably gets compensated super well for spitting in her fanbase's face, not even meeting the minimum content delivery expectation outlined in Hololive's auditions. What feels like thousands of people doing Olympic-level mental gymnastics in unison in defense of that is really something to marvel at. The reality is that Gura isn't doing to change until her fanbase stops throwing money at her. Cover doesn't really lose anything by keeping her soft retired members around. Shion, Aqua, Ayame, Inagura. So as long as they don't pump out yabs, so the only thing that has any actual power over this kind of behavior is the revenue stream. I also just don't understand how any icon can remain invested in someone that clearly doesn't offer their fans basic level of respect. Do these people choose to continue in real life relationships? People that clearly don't give them due respect? This is not that kind of relationship. You're connecting two things that aren't very comparable to each other. How is her sparse content still enjoyable if there's a mountain of implicit evidence that her appreciation for her fandom starts and ends with how it benefits her bank account? This now reads like a VT post. We're getting into the VT post level of discourse. We started from the bottom. We got up high to some more reasonable stuff, and now we're back at the bottom, and we're digging a hole deeper. I think your comment was slightly too potent of a dose of reality for those who rushed to downvote you. I only know about Ayame streaming once in a blue moon to hoover up some money from her diehard simps before slipping back into her shadows, but apparently there are even more like her within Hololive. Although it does seem clear to me that the fans are all too willing to support this sporadic streaming nonsense, so why wouldn't the streamers do it? They're making excellent money without having to put in the effort, so good for them. Keep staying loyal, simps. I'm sure your loyalty will be rewarded at some point, somehow. I appreciate the reply. Sometimes it feels a little lonely over here being a Hololive fan that doesn't pretend the talents aren't just liable to being flawed people as anyone else. I don't know why people get upset with her or any streamer when they aren't consistent. This is a job for her, a very flexible job. It doesn't entail for her to have a constant or any communication with us outside of her chosen streaming hours. Everything we do for her is from choosing, but doesn't mean she owes us anything. Any emotion we feel is caused by us, not her. Instead of getting annoyed by her silence/absence, move on to something else. See another streamer, another video, play a game, any other activity. When she's back, that's cool, and see the stream if you want. If you want to leave, then leave. You're not a bad person for moving on. You chose to support her, you deal with the consequences, whether it be good or bad. There's a line between supporting her and kind of obsessing over them. Why the downvotes for things that are all more than remotely reasonable? It's quite oxymoronic that you would say that you choose to the consequences while freeing the other part of all wrongdoing. But don't gonna get me wrong, I'm not saying we are entitled to anything, but that goes both ways, and reasonable to criticize aspect you are not fond of. I'm not saying she deserves any hate because of she don't, but criticizing her lack of communication is not aching to hate. However, you make it sound like she doesn't appreciate her fans because she does. No one is entitled to anything, and thus sadly extends to kindness. Yeah, I too hope she gets well or better, since I don't really know what her issue is. And although I don't agree with some things you've said, I'm glad I can discuss with someone without feeling like we're trying to attack each other. I'm going to head out to see her stream now. Hope we can all all greet her well. Peace. If Goomba does graduate, it's probably because of her overbearing fans. LOL. If that happened, I wish the headquarters finally learned this lesson. The proper communication is a must in this kind of business practice. Maybe include the handling proper communication between talent and fans to the manager's job description. You're saying she's the most subscribed VTuber, so she has to set a precedent for other VTubers. No, she fucking doesn't. She never flaunts being the biggest VTuber, so why do you expect her to go above and beyond every other streamer if you join her membership? Super chat or buy her merch. That doesn't mean she owes you anything. It's your own choice to give her your money. Edit. Saying anything positive of Gura equals downvotes, LMAO. This sub is a joke nowadays. Buy merch equals get item not relevant. Super chat equals actually wasting money unless you hope to hear your name/message read for that attention. Membership equals there should be something for joining the membership, or is that perk only to be supporting another person? I'm sure some are fine with that, but there's a certain expectation that you any form of membership you at least get something, or else it should just be closed and replaced with a donation link. She doesn't need to set any precedents or whatever. She's an exception to how most VTubers are, but can be quite understanding if you state you might have long-term issues beforehand, not after ghosting and eroding goodwill over the year. Also, I will acknowledge that it could also just be management failure. Ignoring something like a yabe people forget in a month is one thing, but if it's something constantly brought up, just throw out a PR answer. Most are just young enough to lap it up. But I guess merch, the lady dues, equals whatever let it be. Look at the high-rated comments. It's not like positive comments are getting bumped with downvotes. There are just several people coming in and they happen to be aggressively downvoting new posts that people want to see as well. Sub is always getting rated by one group or the other. It's also their own choice if they choose to be angry and express themselves in whatever matter they want. This line of reasoning isn't helping her because all that makes it sound like she should hate her fans for having expectations. Being angry for her won't do anything good, just see this thread. They can be mad, but no one can defend her. She's human. Lay the fuck off her. If she chooses never to stream again because of all of this, I hope her schizo super fans can see where her downfall. Ah yes, reading comprehension doesn't seem like your strong suit. No need to use inflammatory language. But when did I say no one can defend her? You're clearly mad for her net anything, just foster any angry community. You're a prime example of this, then getting mad because people downvote your options, and redirecting attacks to the community as a whole. Honestly, I don't know if you're a troll or an anti, even both, or the way you suck it up. To reiterate, the point getting angry for her and attacking other people won't net anything. People can have expectations and they will. Should she be harassed? Obviously not, but no one is entitled to anything, not even respect or kindness. No one is entitled to anything, not even respect or kindness. Sociopathic comment, not gonna lie. It really isn't. This discussion is really going downhill. Jesus. You realize there's a difference between entitled and mutual kindness / respect? For example, I'm respecting you by not using inflammatory words against you. I expect the same. I'm not entitled to be treated respectfully. I'm just hoping by respecting others I get respected back. I'm morally entitled to respect back? No, but the expectation is there and the rest is up to the other person. Mutual understanding is one thing and entitled to something is something else. Apparently people have the experience dealing with people that are bad at communication. It's just something some people aren't good with. And you get used to that. Sure, it can be frustrating, but you care about the person, you put up with it. It's like any other personality traits. Gura doesn't owe anyone anything and clearly has her own issues she's working one way or another. Let her be on her own person and respect her privacy. Could she communicate better? Sure, but she doesn't owe anyone that. If you're part of her membership and you have a problem with that, just leave the membership at that point. This comment section is entitled as fuck. Maybe Gura just has the worst fans than the other streamers. Well, whenever we are together is, imagine that image saying I will be there no matter what here. Just stream, Gura. I don't care if you have to stream your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and sleeping night. Just stream. Let us be part of your life forever. Sincerely, most Sin Gura fan. I like how OP leaves out she only addressed this because her pre-chat was absolutely disgusting. It made me embarrassed to use her Oshi mark on my social media. Ridiculously disgusting. Entitled invasive fanbase. I want to reach out to her and tell her I hope she's doing well, but I don't want to bring up the shitty chat to make her think about it again either. Since the concert is July 2nd, then beware of anything that might happen at August 4th to 5th. Edit, I don't care what you think about this. If you think this is doom posting, then so be it. At least the mass is gonna make a move. If it's wrong, then it's just me wording the worst. If it's true, then I'm right. Simple. Doom posting at its finest. Better doom posting than nothing. At least the masses are gonna make a move, whether good or bad. What masses? What the fuck are you talking about? Fans, members, antis, trolls, gossipers, normies, everything. Oh no, this redditor is schizo posting. You think they're gonna make a move because of your doom post? Isn't that a bit of a messiah complex? Of course not, but I posted it regardless because I believe there's someone out there with some frustration and way of thinking as me. Probably gonna make it a shitpost material. I think as a butterfly effect, a Dunning-Kruger effect. Yeah, Anon is schizo posting. Reddit non-Anon is schizo posting. Jesus fucking Christ, people in this thread are fucking crazy, screaming, communicate more. Someone going through medical issues, not the tech people think it is, and just further reinforces her decision to not communicate more. I'm surprised at the lack of mentioning Laplace, who actually dealt with / is dealing with a similar thing. EN fans seem a little disconnected from the rest of the Hololive sometimes. Laplace specifically didn't communicate much at all about what was going on, and when she came back and explained, plenty of people were mad anyways. When she was honest about not wanting to stream as often as before, the same people got upset again. There's no winning in parasocial relationships. The fact is, they don't owe fans anything and they're not wrong for not communicating things if they did want to. Everyone likes to imply that they should cater to those fans to avoid blowback. Like saying Gura in this case should be more open and clear or whatever. Not cause she owes them, but because we all know how they'll react otherwise. But fact that the inconsistency in how members deal with those fans is what leads to a lot of the issues. Hololive members need to seriously stop apologizing or giving in ever, because there have been almost zero situations in which they were wrong. And these apologies essentially serve to make parasocial weirdos think they have some level of control over the streamers. Gura's comment here is mostly the right way of doing it, in my opinion. If she gets pestered more, she should either ignore them or tell them to fuck off. Laplos was for a while pretty strong about this stuff, like semi-famous Dornock rant. I think it's hard to keep up that tough edge when almost no one else does. I mean, they should all do what they think is best for themselves, but I think would be healthy if the attitude "it's my life, my business" spread a little more, and they supported each other on that. And we're through the most interesting post in that whole massive thread. As you can see, the diversity, the variety of these opinions was massive, and there's even more than that. There's a lot of them that repeat themselves, as you could probably tell from a lot of these posts that I read, but that's the whole situation. There's been a lot of reasonable back and forth. There's been some schizo posting. There's been some doom posting. Everything under the sun was in this thread, and that's the level of discourse on Reddit when it comes to Gura's streaming. I personally hope that Gura just does whatever she can to be happy. So, because a happy Gura means a happy streamer whenever she does decide to come back. And then everyone can have fun together. And all the issues can be left at the doorstep. But for now, that's everything, and I hope to see you on the next one.